Hey friends, I hope you guys are all doing really well. So it's been a while since I posted on the channel, I think about 3 weeks or so. I got a lot of love on my last video, which was the religious horror video that I did for my May wrap up, and it was a lot of fun to film it. It was a lot of fun to do all of the reading. So just wanted to say thank you for all the love on that particular video because a hell of a lot of work went into it. So I'm really happy that you guys enjoyed it. So this is going to be kind of a new series that I'm going to start on the channel. Might not do them like once a month, maybe once a month, maybe once every 2 months or so, where I just talk about things outside of BookTube. So these are going to be additional videos, so I'm not going to be interrupting any of the book videos, but I did want to talk to you guys about other things that are going on. Halloween is coming up. Of course, it's June, so everyone is kicking into gear for Halloween shopping and hunting and all the things. I've seen all of the code oranges that have been going off for June. So talking about Halloween, showing you guys what I'm hauling, maybe a little bit of spirituality in here, and just things that I have going on in my life, and of course that includes spooky projects. So hopefully you guys like this kind of video. It's going to be just, you know, not heavily edited or extra things added in or anything like that, more just like a video diary of things that are going on and maybe other things to keep an eye out for, just to sit down, have a cup of tea and talk about what's going on. So I've got water. Actually today it's been really hot here. I don't have any makeup on because it like literally melts off my face. And I've been enjoying sitting in my air conditioning for the past couple of days because it's been really hot here, by Canadian standards, of course. And if you guys saw, actually we had a huge tornado in Alberta just up the road from us yesterday, so that was really super scary. So we were keeping our eyes on the skies all day yesterday, but we didn't get anything here where I am. And luckily, from what I know, there hasn't been any injuries, so that was great. So first of all, just a bit of a life update. So like I said, I haven't been posting much, and that's because there's been some heavy self-care going on around here. So for the past 2 months, I just kind of took a step back from pretty much everything. The amount I've been reading, the amount I've been working on spooky projects, chores, life, all of that sort of thing, and I took basically an extended vacation and have been doing lots and lots of self-care. So that was kind of stemming from, some of you guys know, but it was kind of stemming from a big change that I had in my personal life. Things happen, right? And so I've had a pretty big change, and I just needed to take a step back and kind of do a little bit of self-care, really looking after myself, trying to figure things out. My stress levels were really high. My hair has been falling out. I'm actually losing my hair because of my stress levels. So really just needed to take a step back, trying to figure out this hair loss. So one thing that I'm trying to do is I'm not dyeing my hair anymore. So we're gonna see how that goes. It's been really funny because Matt's been saying to me, we'll go out in the sun and he's like, whoa, look at all those grays. But you know, with the problems that I've been experiencing, I figure it's probably the best not to be putting chemical in my hair right now because it's super thin and we want to start that regrowth. So been chatting with my doctor and stuff too, and she thinks it's been stress as well. So hopefully that will get under control here pretty soon. So that's been a big thing, big reason why, you know, I haven't been posting much here or over on my Instagram. It's been kind of sporadic. So I've been feeling a lot better. I'm sleeping better. We've gotten some medical problems figured out. I've been seeing my psychiatrist regularly, got back on some more medication, so I'm feeling great. And we took kind of what you can see as a negative situation and really turned it into a positive. So I've been doing great. Matthew is great, and yeah, so just wanted to let you guys know why I haven't been posting much. And for pretty much the entire month of June, I know Matt took off, I think it was the last week of May, and then he took last week off of work as well, and I've been off also, and we've been kind of just doing some day trips around Alberta. We've been doing some shopping, going out and eating at places that we wanted to try, so that's all been really fantastic. So just a few places that we've been that I wanted to show you guys some stuff that we picked up. So first of all, one of the first places that we went in June was our local Pride Festival, which was fantastic. It was a really fun time, and they had food trucks and all kinds of stuff there. So we had you know, they had a flag raising, and there was all kinds of kiosks and stuff. So I wanted to show you guys this little dude that I bought. This is a little devil duck. We've named him Pubert. So if you know where we came up with the name Pubert, just let us know, because if you're a horror fan, you probably know. So this little guy was actually 3D printed. So I went in because the lady was selling candles, and I wanted to check out some of her candles and incense and oils and stuff like that. But her husband does a lot of 3D printing, and he had like huge dragons that he's 3D printed. But this little guy was super, super cute. So I got him to put on my shelf, and he'll remind me, of course, of our vacation time and going and enjoying the Pride festivities and everything. So I thought he was super, super cute. And I mean, Matthew and I are just ridiculously adorable, right? So that was one thing that we did. And then we also, a couple of weeks ago, we went to Banff, Alberta, which is just about an hour away from here, and it's like full on in the mountains. It's one of the most beautiful places I've ever seen in my life, and every time I go up there, it never ceases to amaze me how beautiful it is, and it looks different every single time. So Matthew has never been up in the gondola, which, I mean, you're in the mountains anyway, but then you can take this little pod that's suspended from a string up to the top of Sulphur Mountain. So we did that. We had Starbucks at the highest Starbucks in Canada, which was really fun. So we went up there and we just enjoyed the views. It was super, super cold. It had snowed the day before, so it was really slippery, but we had a lot of fun and just enjoyed our day in Banff. There was a farmer's market also that was locally in town that day, and we just bummed around and looked at the shops, did some shopping. And one of the places, every time I go to Banff, I always go into this place called the Spirit of Christmas, and I don't know if this is something new or if I just haven't been in there for a really long time, but they're also carrying a lot of Halloween stuff now. So they have the Department 56 Halloween Village pieces. Aren't these gorgeous? They're so beautiful, and they are astronomically expensive. This is the kind of thing where you would buy like one piece, or you would get it as a gift like once a year. And but they're definitely pieces that I love. You know, the Limax Halloween towns, they're okay. I think they're kind of overpriced for what they are, and from what I hear, they can break really easily. So I think I would much rather put my money towards the Department 56 pieces. They're really gorgeous. And they also had some pieces from like a Nightmare Before Christmas village as well that were really super cute. So I would like to get some of these also. So we're gonna take another trip up to Banff probably in the next 6 or 8 weeks or so, and do a little bit of Halloween shopping up there. But while I was there, of course, I did have to get myself a mug. So I got a Jack Skellington. So he's, a fair size. I actually used him for soup. When we got back, I had some tomato soup and just put them in here, and it held quite a lot. So the only thing that I don't like about this mug, it is well made as well. I've seen some other Jack Skellington mugs that are really thin. They're still ceramic, but they're super thin. So I really like this one. I did pay a little bit extra for this, but of course it's licensed Disney. So the only thing that I don't like is it does have really large licensing on the back here. So it's quite big, but usually you can find that with, especially with Disney. And like when you go to Spirit Halloween and stuff, the licensing is quite large. But I did love him, and I think I only have one other Nightmare Before Christmas mug, so I was happy with this Jack Skellington. So of course that'll remind me of going to Banff as well, and like I said, we're definitely going to be going back. So I've been saving up as much money as I can for Halloween season, and the shopping has started, so I will show you guys a couple of other pieces that I got as well. So every Halloween I usually buy myself like 2 to 3 mugs for my mug collection, and these ones I actually got secondhand. So I think I've mentioned this before, I'm not really huge into Rae Dunn, like it's not really my thing. Like some people go absolutely nuts for it, and the prices are astronomical with these resellers that sell it for super, super high prices. But I got these two. This one says Bewitched, and we've got a Hocus Pocus. So these are from older collections, and what I like is one is green and one is purple on the inside. So I really liked these. I think I got them for $5. I think I paid $10 for both of them, just off a local seller here in my community. And I was really, really happy. Like I said, Rae Dunn is not my thing, but if they do have a cute design, I will go ahead and grab it. And so I think I'm done with mugs for this year. I might get one more, but you know, I've got a lot of Halloween mugs. So these specifically are tea mugs for me. Do you guys put different stuff in different mugs, or is it just me? Anyway, so I picked these ones up. So 3 mugs so far this year for Halloween, and it kind of offset the price, I guess, of the big Jack Skellington by getting a couple that were used, but I have no problem with that. As long as they're cleaned and cleansed, we're all good to go. So something else that we did while we were off was we went to a powwow. So it was the first time we've ever gone to a powwow. They had, it's National Indigenous History Month here in Canada, so they had an exhibition and like, you know, a land blessing and all of that kind of stuff down on the Stampede grounds in South Calgary. And when we drove down there, we were a little bit early, so I wanted to go into the witchy shop while I was down there. And something that I've been trying to do while I've been off and doing my self-care is that I've been like really disconnected from the earth and really disconnected like from my spirituality. So I've been doing a lot that's trying to fix that. And so we went in and got a couple of incenses. So I wanted to get a few of the classics that, you know, really remind me of my witchiness and just really I find relaxing. So I got a couple of the traditional Nag Champa. So if you're not into incense a lot, the Satya is the brand, and the classic blue box is the Nag Champa. And it's like, when you think of a witchy store or a new age store, this is typically what it smells like. So I picked up a couple of those, and I picked up a box of the Super Hit. It's Satya as well. So the Super Hit, so it's like Nag Champa, but it's like, it's really, really strong. And this one has a very, almost like it's kind of like an added fruity sort of flavoring to it, if you want to call it a flavoring. So I did that, and it's a place that I don't go to very often because they're quite expensive, but it was really nice to go in there. And then we hopped in the car and went over to the powwow, which was fantastic. And I would recommend anybody, if there's public powwows in your area, go experience one, because it was a lot of fun. And they had a free barbecue there, and there was food trucks, and they were doing all kinds of stuff. So that was a lot of fun. And like I said, it was our first experience, so we'll definitely be going back. Probably not during Stampede, because Stampede is just really not my thing. But that's a couple of witchy things that I had picked up, and I've just been really spending a lot of time in meditation and just trying to reconnect in ritual and stuff like that. And 2 things that I also picked up, I actually bought this for Yule for myself last year. Still haven't picked it up. So this is the Llewellyn's 2023 Sabbath's Almanac, and I think I showed this in my Yule haul, and it's literally been sitting on a shelf. So I used to get these when I was a baby witch all the time, and just when I was learning, and years ago I used to get these every single year. And because I learned so much from it, and just reading through one of these, it just really helps me to reconnect to my spirituality and starting to do new rituals and stuff like that. Because, you know, when we're stressed out and our brain is not in a good place, you just get really, really disconnected. So it's been really fun reading this. And the other thing I got, and I'll zoom in so you guys can see this as well, is I did get a calendar, a witch's calendar. So it has the moon, so it has the moon cycles in there, and it has the flowers and animals and zodiac sign and everything for each month, as well as a ritual that you could try out. So I haven't gotten, you know, a lot of witchy books or any companions or anything like that for a really long time, and so it was really, really fun. Plus we needed something for our kitchen because we need to write down our appointments. Sometimes we need to coordinate our appointments because we only have one vehicle. So that's been something that was really great to be doing over the past month. And then as for spooky projects, before I move on to a couple of other things that I picked up. Spooky projects. So the type of job that I was in it was really difficult for me to have, it was sapping me of a lot of my energy and a lot of my creativity. And I just didn't have the bandwidth in my brain to be able to do a lot, even for book 2, but especially other things that I wanted to be working on. So I am working on 2 other spooky projects. One of them I will tell you about, the other one I won't. So I have started writing my book. Don't know if it'll ever be published. Maybe I'll publish it myself. Don't know when it will be done. It's just something that I think it was around the beginning, I think it was the beginning to the middle of May. I was on a live with Amy McCaw. She does them a couple of times a week where it's like productivity sprints. And I was reading at the time, but I was on with her and one other author that they were working on their books. And they just kind of let me know, like, don't pigeonhole yourself or put too much stress on yourself. Just work on it little bit by little bit and it'll get itself written eventually. So I do want to do that. So it's going to be a fictional book, but it's based on my experiences growing up in a haunted house. You guys know of most of those stories. So I've kind of taken some time to compile them all and get them written down, and then I've been kind of formulating this book in my head for quite some time. So it's time to start getting that down on paper. So like I said, there's no due date, there's no stress, there's no nothing, and I'm just gonna keep working on that. So that's one spooky project that I've been working on besides YouTube. And then the other one is going to take a bit more work. It's not going to be coming out anytime soon. I'm trying to target the fall to get it started. So if I can meet that target, I will let you guys know what it is. But it's taking a lot of research and a lot of prep work because it's something that I haven't worked on before. So yeah, I mean, it's going to be good. Just with recent events that have happened, it's opened me up to having more bandwidth in my brain and more creativity and more time to be working on the things that I want to be working on. So that's great. I mean, we all have to have jobs, right? But also we need to be in careers where we can also fill our cup with our extra curriculars that we like to do. So those are the spooky projects. So my book is one. If you are an author and you have any advice, please feel free to let me know, because I'm not an author. I've never written a book before, but I did do a lot of creative writing when I was growing up. And besides this book, I want to get into doing some short stories and stuff like that. So I think that's going to be a lot of fun. And of course, Matthew has been really awesome and a huge support in that, because he knows is what I love to do. So that's that. And I wanted to share with you, so I have a couple of more things for Halloween that I wanted to share with you, and I wanted to do a movie haul in this video as well. We have been spending a lot of time in thrift shops recently. We've been buying a lot of secondhand stuff, which has been great. It's just, you know, we're just over the commercialism, but secondhand stuff has been great because you can get what you need, but you're not paying out the butt for something new. So the first thing for the rest of Halloween, so I showed you the mugs that I got, and I also found these in the thrift shops yesterday. So this is the Party Light Tea Light Trio, a Party Light Tea Light Leaves Trio, I think. This is from, I don't know, about 15 years ago. So there's 3 of these autumn leaves. They are like a ceramic or like a terracotta almost. And you just put your tea light in there, and they look really cute out for fall. And I had a set of these, and I ended up selling them about 5 or 6 years ago when I was going through a really bad mental crisis. I ended up selling a whole bunch of stuff that I'm regretting at this point now that I sold, but I did end up finding them at the charity shop yesterday, and so those were great because they were super cheap, and it did have all 3. They're in perfect condition, so I'm excited to put these out for the fall. And then I've made a change in how I do things for the fall and Halloween season. So typically, like right now, I'm using a lot of essential oils in our diffuser. I don't tend to light a lot of candles during the summer unless I'm using them for ritual or a specific cleansing or something. I tend to just use my oil diffuser because, you know, we get up when it's light out and we go to bed when it's light out, so candles aren't really being used. So I did use up my last candle a little while ago from everything that I hauled last year. And one thing that I found was that the candles from Bath and Body Works especially, they give me a really bad headache. They have a lot of scent in them, and while they do smell really good when they're unlit, when they're lit, I don't get a lot of the scent, but I just end up getting a headache. And then I ended up getting a whole bunch from Michael's that they were fine, they did what they did, but it's almost like the first time that you lit them, you got a lot of scent, and then there was nothing. So I don't know if anybody else finds that with Michael's candles as well. And then they're supposed to be their everyday value candles, but the price keeps going up on them. So I was like, I'm not sure what I'm going to do this year. And then Matthew actually made the suggestion. He was like, you know, I'd really like to make the switch to beeswax candles, because he enjoys lighting candles in the fall and winter time as well. And I was like, you know, that's not a bad idea. Beeswax candles are very expensive, but they burn longer, they burn brighter and hotter, and there's like no toxins in them. So I did find a local place here that the lady, she makes everything. She makes bath products, she makes candles, she makes shampoos, like house cleaners, like she makes everything. And she had the best price on, funny enough, she has this little tiny shop, and she had the best price out of anyone for all natural beeswax candles. She owns her own bee farm, so we know they're ethically produced. So we actually bought some of her honey as well, some of her cinnamon honey. And while we were there, I got a pack of 10 tea lights, and you can just smell these through the bag. Oh my goodness, like have you guys used like all natural beeswax candles before? I haven't, but man, these smell really, really good. So we're gonna go down every once in a while when we have a little bit of extra money and buy some for the fall. So I've just kind of been stocking these up. And this is one of her pillars. So this is the 3x6 pillar. And I can't remember how long this burns for, but it's something like 100 hours. And I mean, they're not as pretty, they're not as thematic as the ones that you get from Michael's or what's it called, Bath and Body Works, or those kinds of places, like the novelty candles. But I think I'm going to be happier with these just because they burn brighter, longer. They emit negative ions, which is the same as what happens with salt lamps. So they're better energy for your house, and they'll be better for me to use in ritual as well. So the 3 sizes of candles that I like these ones because they're not, like, she had some huge ones, but I find if you make a mistake with those, they're just going to tunnel and you're going to be left with a lot of wax. So I went with this size. The tea lights is another one that I like, and votives as well. So the ones that are kind of like big tea lights, they're a little bit taller. So I think I'm going to try this for the fall. I'm not going to buy any more thematic candles, no more, you know, toxic scents or anything like that. And a lot of people are into that and they're totally fine with it. But I feel like if they're giving me headaches, it's best for me not to use them. So I've got my incense, I've got my candles. It's like I'm 15 years old and a little baby witch again. So this is great, and I'm definitely going to be going back to see this lady. You should see her shop. It's absolutely beautiful. So maybe in the next one that I do of one of these video diaries, I'll just see if I can shoot some stuff in there because her stuff is fantastic. And I actually bought a bubble bath from her as well because I have super sensitive skin. And even if I use all natural products, a lot of the times I still break out. And with her bubble bath, I don't have a single rash. I haven't had a single rash since I started using it, and it's just, it smells so good and it's fantastic. So my whole basement now smells like beeswax and incense, which is great because down here is going to be a completely creative space. It's going to have good energy down here. So that's fantastic. So just adding on to that, I am going to be going back to work in an office after 3.5 years of working at home, and my old work desk is actually over there. So all of that has been cleared out. I've kind of left the energy as it was over there. It needs to be cleansed. So I need to do that. It's feeling a lot better down here because it was just really heavy with a lot of the stress that I was going through. And it's hard to have your workspace and your creative space in the same area, is what I find. So this is a completely creative space down here. I've been spending a lot of time down here cleaning up and throwing things away, bringing things in, reorganizing. The shelves are done, which I'm really, really happy about. So that's going to be fantastic. But like I said, I'm going to be going back to work in an office after 3.5 years of working home. So that means like driving every day, packing my lunches, the whole thing. So I wanted to show you guys a couple of things that I picked up. That's going to help me out with transitioning back into an office. So I feel like this whole thing has like been like a back to school sort of thing. So the first thing that I got was this bag that I found at Winners. And I'm surprised that I found this out of season. So this must have been left over from last year. So this is just like a little tote bag kind of thing, or a purse. And on the outside it has these debossed skulls. It is black. It's showing up probably a little bit gray, but it is black. And then on the inside, it's really big. It's really nice and big. And it does have a zippered pouch in the center, which I really, really like. And then 2 pouches on either side. So it's not just open, because I find that it's hard to find anything in there. And I do have some smaller bags that I ordered from Amazon that are going to help organize all of my stuff. So I really like I said, the zippered pouch. I can keep my wallet and stuff like that in there. And then along the edges it has these really cute like multicolored skulls, and they have heart eyes. They're really cute. So I thought that was adorable, and like I said, I was really, really surprised that I found it off sort of spooky season. So I grabbed that. And then this other one, so this is my lunch bag. So this is super cute. I got this from Amazon. It's quite large, but it does have a crossbody strap, which I was really happy with, because of course I'm going to be carrying my other bag, so I could put this one across. And it has some skulls, and it has some crescent moons, and some like little ferns and stuff. Where is he? It has kitty cats as well. You can see a little kitty cat on the bottom here. So that's really cute. It's pretty well made, and I'll see if I can link it down below for you guys if you wanted to take a look. And it's insulated on the inside. So I'm gonna have to bring my lunch every day now. I'm not gonna be sitting at home just, you know, having to go upstairs to grab my lunch. So going back to the office here pretty soon. And new job, new office, new bags. Like I said, it's just like going back to school. So I'm really excited about that. And the last thing I wanted to show you guys was the movies that I picked up. So like I said, we've been going to a lot of thrift stores, and it's like the cheapest place to get the movies, especially because some of the older movies that you find on Amazon are like stupidly expensive. I guess maybe because the studios themselves aren't doing them anymore, or whatever it is, they're out of circulation, so they're quite expensive. So I will show you the movie haul now. Okay, so this video is already becoming ridiculously long, so I'm going to go through them quite quickly. Just moving some of these over because they're collections, so I'll go through the individual ones first. So like I said in my last video, still haven't watched The Exorcist yet since I read the book. So like you guys know, I read the book. It blew me out of the water. It was so good. So I do have to rewatch the movie. So did find it at one of the charity shops. I think I found it on Amazon, but it was like really expensive, and I couldn't find it on any of the streaming services. So Trick or Treat. I don't think Matthew has ever seen this one, and it's been years since I've seen it, so I picked this one up for the Halloween season. And then, sorry, a couple more collections there. The original Friday the 13th. This is the only one out of like the big three, like the Friday the 13th, Halloween, or Nightmare on Elm Street, that I own. I mean, I've seen them all, of course, but I've never actually had them for my own collection. Let me tell you, is anybody else getting like pissed off with streaming services? Like, you're paying all of this money, they have movies on there, and then you go to watch one and it's been taken off and replaced with something else. Or, you know, all you go in and find on these streaming services is like their original content, and like, you know, all you want to do is watch a classic movie. And we actually watch a lot of stuff on YouTube anyway, so we're gonna keep those two. And we've been having a lot of fun going out to thrift shops and picking up movies, so we've gone right back into movie collecting, so it's been a lot of fun. So Friday the 13th, this one is hilarious. It's funny, not funny. So we ended up picking this one up like 2 weeks before that whole situation happened with the submersible. We haven't watched it yet, so this is a documentary on the Titanic, the definitive documentary collection. So we have yet to watch this because that whole situation happened and all we were hearing about was Titanic. But we thought it was kind of ironic that we picked this one up like 2 weeks before that situation happened. Silence of the Lambs. So we picked this one up. I did not pay $4.88 for it. I paid $3 for it. But I'm very embarrassed to say I've never seen Silence of the Lambs. I know the story. I know what it's about. I've seen a million clips of it, but I've never seen the whole movie from beginning to end. Same thing with Seven, which Matt was really surprised, so we picked that one up. We got The Fog. Haven't seen this one before either, but I watched Grim Life Collective did a video on The Fog a little while ago, and that was pretty cool. So they went around to like the filming locations, so I picked this one up. We got The Mothman Prophecies, which is one that I haven't seen for years and years, but this is like one of my favorites. It's definitely a go-to. It's a, you know, a slow burn kind of drama, I guess, but of course it has the folklore wrapped into it. So I love this movie. Does anybody else enjoy this one as well? I actually saw this one in the theater when it first came out. And then a couple of, oh, here's the last one. Rocky Horror Picture Show. So I really liked this edition. I don't own it. So it has like pop-ups on the inside. So these are kind of like 3D. And I really liked the artwork. I'll show you the other side. I really like the artwork on this one. So this is a collector's edition. And I'm sure it's probably meant to have a slipcase, but it doesn't. And it says, "It's not easy having a good time. Even smiling makes my face ache." So we're going to probably watch that one during Halloween season as well. And then two more like individual movies that I picked up outside of the horror genre. So Doubt is one that I only saw one time. And I really enjoyed it. Matt's never seen it, so we grabbed that one. And this one's Stardust. This is a really underappreciated movie, in my opinion. I love this movie. I thought it was super, super good when I first saw it. And I'm really happy to add it to the collection. Maybe we'll watch it today. It's Sunday, and, you know, we watch more of those kind of fantasy, Disney type movies on Sundays. Take a little bit of a break from the horror. Last night we tried to watch Dead Silence and did not enjoy it at all. This is a James Wan film from 2007, and I thought it was going to be really, really good. It has a super good premise, but just the execution just failed. And his movies, of course, have gotten so much better over the years, but this one just fell really flat for me. And I was surprised because it had super, super good reviews, but it didn't work out. We actually turned it off when there was about a half an hour left because I was just like, we were both on our phones. We were scrolling through our phones. I was like, this is stupid. Let's just put on something else. So unfortunately, that one fell flat. I was talking to a mutual of mine this morning, actually, and he was like, I thought this was going to be an R-rated version of Night of the Living Dummy. And I was like, you know what? That's exactly what I was thinking as well, and it just wasn't. So unfortunately, that one didn't work out, but you got to give them a try, right? So that brings me to my next point, is that I am a serial watcher. So, or serial rewatcher, I should say. I have my favorites, and I just rewatch them over and over and over and over and over. Whether it's movies or shows, whatever it is, documentaries. So I've been trying to branch out and watch some new things. So like I said, my one thing that I've really been trying to do is go back to the 80s and 90s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, and watch movies from those periods that I've always wanted to watch, but I've just never watched before. So, like I said, Silence of the Lambs, I've never actually seen it from beginning to end, so I'm doing that. I've got Stand By Me, actually, is upstairs. I forgot to bring it down, but that's another one I've never seen from beginning to end. So I've been trying to do that, and the movies these days are just not doing it for me. So I've been trying to go back to the classics. So that's one thing that I've been trying to branch out and do. I was actually thinking of starting a second YouTube channel that was like nostalgic movies, but I already have 2 other projects going on besides YouTube, and I work full-time. So you know, I don't want to get overwhelmed with everything. So I put that one on the back burner for now. I also got some seasons and some collections of stuff. So we've got, Matt found this one actually, The Real Ghostbusters. So this is the cartoon. This is volume 5, so unfortunately they only had the one, but I told him to grab it anyway because this is really rare to see in a charity shop. So I was happy about that, but hopefully we can find some of the other seasons, or I can get them during a sale on Amazon. We got a Vincent Price collection. Super excited about this. Did you actually know that Vincent Price was a cookbook writer? That's something I found out a couple of weeks ago that I thought was a really interesting tidbit. So this one is a 5-feature collection. We've got The Bat, The Last Man on Earth, The Jackals, Shock, and House on Haunted Hill, which I'm super excited about because the remake is actually one of my favorite movies. I love the remake of House on Haunted Hill, and I've never seen the original, so I really, really, really wanted to watch it. So I got this one for like $5, and that was great. I got that one at a used bookstore actually. This one is going to be super, super cheesy. This is Dark Moon Thriller Collection. So this is all like the kind of vampire and werewolf movies. So we've got Fangs of the Living Vampire, Grave of the Vampire, Werewolf in a Girl's Dormitory, Werewolf of Washington, Zombie Hell House, Night of the Living Dead, and 5 more movies. So this is a 2-video collection. These are going to be super, super cheesy, but I thought they would be fun to put on the background when, you know, when I'm cooking or coloring or whatever. So I thought that one was super, super fun. I found, is this the first season? Yes. The first season of Sabrina the Teenage Witch. It's funny because Cameron Chaney mentioned in one of his videos recently over on Patreon that Sabrina is actually his comfort movie, like when he's sick. And so when I went to a used bookstore recently and saw this, I was like, you know, I really do need to rewatch it. This is a great show. I mean, the new Sabrina I really enjoyed as well, but this one is just, it's so nostalgic, and I think it was so, so well done. So pick that one up, and I'll get more seasons as I find them. I got seasons 1 and 2 of Saved by the Bell. So classic TV is something that I want to start collecting besides, you know, classic movies and stuff. So I was super, super happy to find this. One thing that I realized when you go to places like Value Village, which is like our Goodwill place like here in Canada, is that you really have to make sure that all of the discs are there and all of the discs are corresponding to the seasons that you're buying, because I bought what I thought was season 2, 3, and 4 of Beverly Hills 90210. So it says the 2nd season, the 3rd season, and the 4th season. But I didn't look inside, and I got them home, and I don't know about you guys in the States, but here our charity shops, it's final sale. Like, you can't bring stuff back. But the discs are actually season 1. It was in a season 3 package, and so I ended up with season 1 discs. And then when I got them home and looked at them, season 4 has 4 discs in it, but one of the discs is one of them for season 3. So now I have a mishmash of everything. So I have to keep an eye out for some sellers in my local community that might have discs that I'm missing. That was just kind of a piss off, you know. That was something else I got, and one of the reasons why I'm doing this is because the streaming services, there's been a couple of shows that I've been watching that are missing episodes, or the episodes are in the incorrect order. So I started watching Beverly Hills 90210 last year on Paramount Plus. I got a subscription to it just to watch that show, and I think it was like the entire end of season 2 or season 3 was missing. And it was a huge chunk, and it was like really important episodes. So those were missing, and then Matt and I were watching A Different World, and the last season of A Different World, all of the episodes were reversed. So the end of the show started at the beginning of the season. I was like, these streaming services, like, you're paying astronomical amounts of money to try to watch these shows, and it's just not working out. So that's my vent on streaming services and why I'm not subscribing to them anymore. So we have Disney Plus right now because we're rewatching the X-Files, but after we're done that, I think I'm going to get rid of it, honestly, and just keep Amazon. And yeah, I've gotten rid of Netflix. Netflix is way overpriced in my opinion. Of course, that's just my opinion. So yeah, that's my video diary for right now, so that you guys are all caught up. So a couple of spooky projects going on. I'm writing my book, and there's another secret one. I was contemplating on starting a movie channel here, but I think I might back burner that one just to try to get through the other ones, because I tend to take on too much and then I get overwhelmed. So we hauled some movies, we hauled some Halloween, I've changed the type of candles that I'm burning, and we have some adventures. So I just wanted to fill you guys in on everything that's going on, and of course I'll keep you in the loop on what's going on with those spooky projects once they come to fruition. So that's everything I have for you guys today. I hope you're all doing really, really well. Leave me a question or a comment down below, because you know I love chatting with you guys. But until next time, stay spooky, everybody.